A 26-year-old mother. A 26-year-old mother. A 26-year-old mother. A 26-year-old mother faces amputation of both her hands and feet after she developed complications immediately after receiving a dose of the Sinovac COVID vaccine. Cleopatra Ngube of Cowdrey Park West in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, said she took the vaccine on 27 July from health officials deployed to their small neighborhood church.
Immediately after I got vaccinated, I fell sick the very same day. I was dizzy and weak, and I initially thought I had caught a cold since I had woken up in the morning to go queue for the vaccine. It was on a Tuesday.
She says her condition deteriorated and she was taken to the hospital on Friday, 3 days later, where she was admitted for 2 weeks. While admitted in hospital, her symptoms took a turn for the worse as her hands and feet began to swell painfully. Doctors said she needed a blood transfusion.
My feet and hands started swelling. I was in so much pain and couldn't sleep. They told me my feet were cold and there was no blood circulation in my feet. Also, I no longer had blood in my body, so I had to go to Mpilo for a blood transfusion.
The transfusion was unsuccessful and doctors ordered a battery of tests, but by the time she got the results, her hands and feet had already started turning black and the government doctor she was due to see was not available. Increasingly desperate, she turned to a private doctor who delivered the bad news. They were too late and amputation was unavoidable.
The doctors at Mpilo said I should go for tests, and I went for those tests. When I went back to the doctor, my hands and feet had already turned black. We went back with the results to Mpilo, and the doctor wasn't available. We went to a private doctor, and the doctor said it's too late for any kind of help. If only we had come before the feet turned black.
Her parents, unable to accept her fate as an amputee, have refused to allow the procedure and are now hoping against hope for a miracle despite the dim prognosis from doctors. Now bedridden in a small room, Cleopatra is appealing for help with treatment and financial support as she now appears destined for a life of disability.
The doctor said we should go to UPH. I was admitted at UPH. At UPH, they told me I could not be cured. They told me I would have to be amputated, both my hands and feet. My parents did not agree. I need help because I can no longer walk. Even if I want to go to the toilet, my sister has to assist me. Please, can you assist with whatever you can? I have one child in grade 0 who is doing ECDB.
Good evening. I want just to welcome each and every one of you, beautiful people. I want to welcome everybody, all the families of Kairos TV, the final word. Tonight is that night, and I believe that we all will be, moreover, would say the information that we'll get is going to be an information that will change your entire perception. And moreover, some of you are to receive a solution regarding meaning what had already transpired, meaning upon humanity. And I'm so excited because I know that what is about to actually now transpire is great and it's going to change in however we have viewed things. Now, most oftentimes I say people can do things, governments can do things, people can use money to do stuff, people can use power to do things, but there's only one God, and who is the one who will give us, moreover, history. And history is controlled by time. And things can happen in a century or 100 years, but history will at all times begin to testify the things that actually were done in the past. I'm coming tonight and delivering this story. And moreover, I have in the studio one of the most, I would say, important doctors that we need to listen to, that we need to hear from. One of the most, I would say, embodiment or in the medical sphere that actually we all need to hearken. We have heard politicians speak, we have heard presidents speak, we have seen pharmacists speak, we have seen actually businessmen speaking more than doctors. We have seen businessmen speaking more than pharmacists. So now, tonight we have in the studio, now among the three, she's a woman, a pharmacognetic, that I trust that tonight she will absolutely now begin to extrapolate and present the truth about where we are coming from. And also, we'll be talking about the post-traumas and the mortalities and the fatalities and morbidities that we have faced. Now, I'm excited because Kairos TV is the final word, and we are independent to speak the truth and only the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Now, there are people who have a question where we are asking a question whether COVID was a scam or not. And now we know how now people are being Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be continuing. I just want us to prepare ourselves, because whenever you are coming with the truth, you need to understand all the glitches might be technically controlled, but we are going to continue and make sure that we share information without fear, without favor. And now we also would be here until such a time. So I have in the studio, as I'm speaking with you right now, meaning a pharmacognetic, meaning Dr. Nada Amadita, which I'm just about to introduce. But before I do that, because I need to give with all the courage to come on board and to share such a splendid in terms of the truth and things that we want to know about, and moreover, what is it that we can do post-COVID that can assist us in order to, become wholesome in terms of our health. It's very much important. And I know that now even governments don't want us to know. And we also do know that there are people who don't, even business does not want us to know. Even media doesn't want us to know, want us to know meaning the things that have transpired pertaining humanity. Now, I would be, moreover, presenting a couple of things in order to begin our conversation, and I trust that we all are going to grasp a thing in order to move forward. Now, I need us to look at on the screen what we have there. We are having a letter that personally I wrote to the president, and this is a special resolution taken by leaders of the community, the church, and everybody. It was written to His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, and I submitted this letter to him. And the subject matters are clear, that the letter is there that prohibits, vaccination, over the ministers and the members of the church and the members of the communities. And then also an objection on vaccinating people who are not actually infected. And I will see an exemption on our what? On our children at school, universities. They were also to be exempted from this vaccination. Now I want you to look at it there. The letter is there. The letter is public knowledge, and the president received it. And now this is a letter that spoke to the president at once in order to muchly bring understanding of where we are, because now even if things can happen, whether they happen in accordance to criminal liability, they will at all times be reproved and corrected by history. Now, the second letter that you see there, that is a declaration of the state of emergency by the NE Global Altar, whereby we have actually put a document which it was sent. It was sent to a couple of disciplines. You'd see now there, if you actually could look for this letter, this document, so that you can actually learn and see on the things that we have done, even as in the procession of this pandemic. And now the letter absolutely now presents, the importance of the state of emergency pertaining what we see as an injustice upon humanity. This letter was actually released to a couple of disciplines and bodies. It was sent to the United Nations. It was received by the Secretary of the United Nations. It was sent, moreover, again to African Union, and now it was sent to also the European Union. So they have received this, and also to WHO, which is the WHO, and sent also to the government of South Africa. It was sent to the government of Zimbabwe. And the reason why the NE Global Altar, who are the intercessors and the intelligentsia in a country, has stood up in believing that we can concord and bring this document and send it as a white paper that will speak for the people on the 22nd of December 2021, was to bring an awareness of what we see happening diabolically and illicit, and in terms of the economy and also in terms of health. And that was done. And I can tell you, on behalf of human beings, on behalf of everybody, not only South Africans, but on behalf of human beings. Now taking it further, I need us to understand that the topic tonight, I'm having this exclusive talk, and moreover, I would say it is an interview with a doctor. And this doctor that is coming on board, especially today, I would say it's one of the bravest women I've ever seen in my entire life. And I am standing here to say I am actually now proud to can announce such a woman with such a strength, and moreover with such a caliber. This woman is a pharmacokinetic, and I trust that in this very day you all will be moreover conscientized on where we are and what is really going on. And I will make an assurance that we all get this information, and moreover, as we do our follow-ups and get to understand where we are and where we are coming from. Now, the disclaimer has been put on the telecast to really say, now our guests have come and they will be speaking professionally, and to make sure that they absolutely now enlighten the people. So now all topics thoroughly researched are brought before you as a public, moreover for what? For solutions or resolutions to the matter that is at hand. Now, going forward, therefore, I need us, all of us now, to be ready to hear this particular woman. And I know that now all of you will be moreover, I would say perplexed, some dismayed, and moreover, some of you will be troubled and disturbed because of the truth that we'll hear. We know that from the book of life, where it says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Now, I'm here to now welcome, meaning a doctor, a pharmacognetic, Dr. Nada Amadita, with the PMAF, and moreover, you see there, now this woman is coming on board as an advocate, and moreover as a doctor that advocates on behalf of humanity. And I trust that God gave her also the ability to can be able to stand and moreover on behalf of humanity. Now, I will need us all to connect as we welcome this wonderful woman. We welcome Dr. Nada Amadita on Kairos TV once more, and she's coming for the second time. It's more like a reply in order to make sure that which she started, she continues with us. Now, welcome, Dr. Amadita. Thank you so much for coming on board. We are excited to have you tonight, and we are also trusting that God will give us this grace for you to be here. There's not going to be load shedding. We are trusting that you're going to speak to us. The nation is waiting, and Africa is also awaiting for such a truth that will be spoken forth. Now, I always say that now history will at all times begin to what? It will talk even greater. You are welcome. Now, prior we continue, we are thankful that you are here, and you're also, also welcome to open up and talk to our viewers on your experience, and moreover, your journey in this knowledge that you have acquired in order to change the lives of the people.
What's on that page? University.
Before we can go with who Dr. Nada Amadita is and what's your mission.
Good evening, people. It is so great to be on this television broadcast again. I have seen you last year, 8 July 2021, and then we were still in the middle of COVID. Now we are sort of past all these attempts, and these attempts really ran through all our 5 cognitive sensations there, which is actually called, the mouth, the nose, the ears, the eyes, and finally we are with the hands. And now we are actually realize who's actually managing everything which is now going on around us. I ended that time and was introduced as one of the 3 pharmacokinetics in the world, and I was very much assured that I'm taking the lead because I am the one who was focusing on yellow bone marrow. So, and then I like to add this yellow bone marrow action in with the mission of Africa Health. I do not know if the slides is running, but the mission of Africa Health is a mission that we have an attribution for establishing a peace plan and convert just about everybody into to have inner peace. And this is exactly where God is also directing us to have peace that is beyond our understanding. Yes, almost there. Fantastic. The attribution for the establishment of this Africa Health venture is an ordering by a crippled continent for a comprehensive peace plan. Africa Health operations are based on servicing and caring to encourage people to transform into people with inner peace. And people, this is why I'm coming in and I'm actually just present myself there where I'm coming from. I really I'm actually bragging about my surname, Amadita. You can all see what means Amadita. I'm a server of love. It means I just make sure you are standing on the right platform, and actually what is going to be served on us, that we can handle it. And this platform makes us very sure that we can actually draw down from the 10th heaven another realm. Be blessed. You know, if we're blessed, we are going to be blessed from receiving from Mount Zion. That is the 10th heaven. And if we are blessed from there, we will later on know, and but we will discuss later on we will know that we can spin very high. And people, with this whole COVID thing, the best way to recover from this is to actually know that we can actually take something or involve something or do something, or if we speak, that we can do something that is actually helping us to spin high. Because that is also God's idea for us. And if this whole COVID thing didn't inspire us to spin higher, we have a big problem at hand. Because what really happened with the COVID pandemic is that, a normal flu virus, has 10 electrons evolving around in the air around them. But when the COVID virus came, there was suddenly 100 electrons evolving in the air around us. And suddenly, by like we like to say, G5, our own cell phones in our own hands, our television, and all this, I'm telling you that this all made that those electrons we were surrounded of, that those electrons that they started to spin, and they become electromagnetic waves. And those waves spinning in and around us, they were the ones who made us very, very sick. And that is why we were all drowsy, and that's why we were all not there. Now, people, I just like to then actually introduce this whole plan with this. I'm glad for the host running through all my slides. You can see the purple trees there. That is the place of authority. And if we are going at the end of the day, take up our places of authority, and that you will see I'm going to take you through all these processes and communication in the body. And with this, I like to make sure all of you is now also with this venture and with the instruction of your yoga bone marrow. And I'm adding my knowledge to this, that I know that all of you now can instruct your bodies to spin higher. The most important thing is Mr. Presenter, is that I just like to say that I have added my knowledge to the yellow bone marrow instruction in the body, which is the highest instruction, to make sure that our body can present peace in the system. If there's not another question from the host, then I can go on.
Doctor,
Kyk asseblief op jou selfoon wat gaan aan.
I think the only way we can win this, because we are having some bit of glitches on our site, especially when we're trying to run your slides. But hence, we are running slides with which now we no longer running them concurrently, because we are trying to run them so that you can not be disturbed. But now, yes, and thank you so much for that introduction. If possible, I know that you might be also struggling to hear me because of there is already a network glitch. As I indicated, we are in a fight because this is a kind of knowledge that you don't or normally find anywhere, whether in media, where the truth is brought before the people, so that people can go to sleep knowing exactly what they are in about and what is really happening around them. So I'm excited, also terrified because of the truth, but I know that this truth will absolutely enlighten the people. So that is our only challenge here. It's just the technicality, because as I said, it's like we are being limited. I don't know by who, but it's done. So I'm gonna ask us to open up and move from your side. We'll try to put up the slides that you would like us to put, and then you can tell us. Then we move forward. Thank you so much, Dr. Madita, for your presence. Thank you so very much. Now, should we put the slides for Africa Health, or should we put any other slides?
Okay, please put the slide for that is actually saying about the Africa Health, the pink, the light powers. Please put on that slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to run it again. Okay. Yes, please indicate if you are able to can hear us.
Yes.
We are. It's a fight. This side we are fighting some forces, but we are excited because we know that either way we will continue and we will continue to advocate on behalf of people. The only thing that I want to know, can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. We cannot hear your voice, but as I'm continuing now, I just want to make sure that yes, I want to make sure if we can give it just few minutes to go, and I believe that it will be there, and so that we could run concurrently with yourself. So we are unable to hear Dr. Amadita, and I will appreciate that all the viewers be, on stand, and let us not move. Don't go anywhere. I tell you, something is about to be spoken on this platform, that which I trust that even governments don't want to talk about. Something is about to be spoken, that which, as I can tell you now, even our doctors are unable to share, because it is such a, I will tell you that that which has happened, especially upon humanity. It's something that we wouldn't actually forget. And I trust that, as I always say, history will judge this thing very strongly. And there's no one who's going to be able to stop anybody from talking. And we are going to come to places where, no matter what it takes, we are going to experience that breakthrough, in order to see to it that we definitely are part. So I'm excited because now you see everything is coming on board. Yes, because we need to be careful not to give up on things that we don't actually control. So I am still here and looking forward for Dr. Madita to speak to us. And Dr. Madita, we are coming back fully, and I'm thankful that you also have stood with us. And we are facing the glitches. We are honest about it. We are not using Facebook. We are using our TV channel, and we know that it has to go through all this social media. But now we are facing a bit of a glitch. But now let me just go through this a little. Now, Dr. Madita, you said that you are adding knowledge on, meaning you spoke about meaning knowledge on the yellow bone marrows. Now I need you to come on board, and moreover to explain to the nation what the yellow bone marrow is, because I remember I got an invitation by one of the elders, of Israel, to be part and to be an ambassador of, meaning the yellow bone marrow. And to be honest with you, a couple of years ago, I was clueless on what is it that this man is talking about. And he said to me, it's important that we actually now go about and assist, especially African people. Now, I did not understand him there, but when you brought it on board, I got to understand that there is something here that I trust that we all need to learn, and also the country need to adhere to this knowledge. So now I want to open it up in that way, as to ask you now, moreover, what is the connection between meaning the the African Health Mission and the yellow bone marrow? What is the connection?
The connection is that your body now go into peace. This is the connection. The connection is that the moment if yellow bone marrow is abundantly released or switched on in the system, it means peace has arrived for the cells because all the plants is moving in. The plants of the body start making a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy in the system. So, and there's a lot of tissue, and there's a lot of channels, and there's a lot of muscles, and there's a lot of nerve systems and tissue moving in the system. And that is why it is so very, very, very important to make sure there is enough yellow bone marrow. The yellow bone marrow is responsible for three very important processes. First of all, that yellow bone marrow, if it is released, the body's got enough energy to retain the full memory and memory how it is supposed to operate in the system. So there is a lot of energy. There is a lot of energy that is released from the fat cells in your body because it makes a lot of oils in the system. It works together with the processes and the process in the pancreas to make sure there is a lot of new muscles, new nerve tissue, everything that. So sometimes old things is not restored. We are certainly, if we are working with the right platform, just new muscles, new nerves, new tissues, new flow patterns in the system. The big thing about it is all of us want to have a nice weight. And if I just like to say, if there is enough energy and there's enough fat channeling, then the body can channel out all the fat from the inside to the outside. Sitting here on the outside, and the energy reservoir is built on the outside. And because the fat is now on the outside, the water will be on the inside. So that's why we will all become younger, we will all become more energetic, and we can all remember very well. That's why at the end there must be enough oils. There must be enough oils because your body needs 6 nutrients that is very important.
Okay.
Fatty acids, because fatty acids are the one channeling that very high energies in the system. The other thing that is very important is then also the body release oil into the system, and then the system can act, because of these oils in the system, can act antipyretic, anti-inflammation, anti-analgesic. It means the system can now produce its own way of helping with pains, helping with fevers, helping with inflammation and swelling. All these rheumatoid arthritis, and the people have the swelling in the system, the pains. Then the system say, let's go on full board. People, if we use what is in the air now very good, and that is the very high spin, then it means the outside air is now spinning very high from this frequency and all the electromagnetic wave. But now people, if we are clever enough, we also can actually spin very, very, very high. So it means we can spin higher. So from now on, if a problem starts, we do not go into fear. We go into excitement. Even the Bible, it gives us a very good indication. It says you have to believe. You have to have hope. You have to have love. But the most of all, the love. It means actually the most of all, the excitement. You need that excitement, people. You need that very high energy to receive from above. Okay. So now let's see how the body is received. And one thing that is very, very important that I like to address with the bone marrow issue is communication in the system. People, we all know that everybody goes down. Relationships goes down because the people doesn't communicate properly. We know that that people that they lose their monies because they do not communicate properly. We know of the body is hurt because we do not communicate properly. And people, what we're gonna do is now here. Can you see there's a slide? Your cortex is involved in higher process in the human brain. Now, what actually happens is it actually means that the communication from your cortex. Can you see all those colorful? This is the cortex. The communication from the cortex to the we had another slide there which is called aldosterone. Now the cortex is sitting very high, and I wish we can see the last part of that slide, the cortex. So in this process, we are actually going to move and there's the aldosterone. So we actually communicating from the cortex via the air into the aldosterone hormone. Now, one thing that is very important.
Doc, are we still having you? Okay. I think we are losing Dr. Madita on her side, but we'll try to revive it, and Matchley, when she comes on board, she'll be able to proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, what a night. And you know what? This is a night where you don't even want to see any interruption, but you want to make sure that everything moves as smooth as it could. But now, what I've just grasped, because I've spent much of time with Dr. Madita, and I got to understand even now, it's just a network meaning a glitch on her side. Now, saying that whatsoever that happened has actually dealt with our, with our human brain. Moreover, which is now your cortex is involved in a higher process, moreover, of many of your human brain, including your memory, your thinking, your learning, your reasoning, problem solving, and emotions, consciousness, functions, and also related to your senses. Now, I want to say that now she meant it there, because I have a thorough understanding of what she means there, is that you can tell now, you don't actually think of anything else except COVID-19, what we have been through. People are still even afraid because they have lost their loved ones. It's a pandemic, it's a post-COVID trauma. And because of this mortalities and morbidities and fatalities and whatever that you can call it, however people die, but people are dying, and just to face the fact that people are dying. And those people are not just people, they are families. And those people are not just our families. Some of you are your parents. Some of you are your children. Some of you are your uncles and your aunties. They are dying by day. We see, meaning celebrities. We see, meaning men and women of stature in the high corridors. They are dying, and we don't even get the right results in terms of the autopsy and to know what really kills the people. Now, Dr. Nada Madita is here to really clarify. Now, in the midst of all, and have that kind of relationship and make sure that you get the knowledge, and moreover, you get the resolution, because now she went as far to make sure that she has what we call medicinal, meaning some of the some we call the cellular nutritions, and some concocted medicines that are of solution in times that we are in. And I can tell you that's what you need, because one of the things that I trust that she's gonna actually now bring on board is this one, which she actually now talks about, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, okay, that one is for Africa Health in terms of the medicine that she has, where she's speaking about the good cellular communication. And she's saying that, meaning every man or everybody has 37 trillion cells. And those cells, all of them, had to be in operation in your body. Can you imagine that? 37 trillion cells that operates in you, and moreover, they actually now bring forth life in within you. And anything that happens in terms of sickness and all that, it's an attack that comes from outside. And she explained it very well. It comes from outside, then it goes in within, and then it begins to now dwell inside of you, and also it creates another meaning, I would say. That's why a DNA that comes outside, and therefore it comes inside, then it creates itself to be resident in thy body. And now as your body is fighting something that is strange, and something that your body does not even know, or your system does not even meaning cannot read, then that's a problem, whereby then some of your organs, they collapse from within out. And that is a problem where we are. And I needed her to really take us through, because the collapse of those organs in within a body, they definitely now communicate meaning death and sudden death and so forth. But the problem is, nobody will blame whether they would absolutely come to a point where they say it is vaccination that have caused such, because now it is now being heart failure, kidney failure, all of those things, and now blaming the organs within that which were operative accordingly. But now, because now something was planted which was actually coming from outside, it was planted inside of you, and now then it resides in within you, then all the 37 trillion cells are therefore tempered. Now Dr. Nada Amadita therefore went in the laboratory for concoction of a medicinal, you understand, a pharmacognetic, dealing with like a moreover of an apothecary, now brought together what needed to be brought together medicinally, and so that they can she can actually now begin to now produce something that could absolutely safeguard our people. And now one of the things that was said, which actually terrified me, was that and now in few months people will actually keep on dying. They will die like ants. And now we see that people are dying, but nobody's taking responsibility, because it was protected by law, and nobody could question with the experimental or the experiment that which they brought before the people, and they made human beings to become guinea pigs. Now this is absolutely I would say diabolic, and at last we understand now that it was more illicit in terms of its economy. So that's why the truth must be spoken, and we need to bring it out there. We don't, I was told about whether there's a community and the laws of COVID, even on Facebook and so forth, but the truth must be told. And we are asking Facebook and all to open up, let the truth be told. It cannot be hidden. And even if the people who are behind, even the gray hairs, the truth will absolutely now reveal what really transpired, because the people that are dying, they are not just people in the jungle, they are our families. There are parents. People are losing their skin. People are getting swollen. Their hands are swollen and so forth. So we need to fix this. That's why when she touched the yellow bone marrow, we know for sure that she's now touching something that is, within you that needs to be tackled. And moreover, as a doctor, she said, now we are bringing a solution through knowledge in order to make sure that now people are being safeguarded. Now, welcome once more, Dr. Amadita. I try to actually now get on the space in time so that you, as you are busy working on the network, coming back. And thank you so much for coming back. Now, Dr. Amadita, I needed just to go straight to this one because I've managed to deal and moreover just to clarify where we have been as the people, the reason why we are saying that people are actually facing an outside enemy that comes in within and dwells in within them, and moreover deals and changes the DNA of our people, and at last now therefore their cellular or their cells are then therefore under an attack, and that's when now in the midst of all and have that kind of relationship and make sure that you have knowledge and moreover you get a resolution. Now she went as far to make sure now he has there is what we call medicinal some of the there is one of the slides here which I want some to put on that I think you can maybe touch based on that, which is what we call a. I just want to be a second actually now rhythm. A circadian rhythm. Okay, that one is you help. Spoke about where she's picking up on the good cellular communication, and she's saying that every man has 37 trillion cells, and those cells, all of them, have to be in operation in your body. Can you imagine that? 37 trillion cells that operates in you, and moreover, they actually now bring forth life in within you. And anything that happens in terms of sickness and all that, it's an attack that comes from outside. And she explained it very well. It comes from outside and it goes in within. And then it begins to now dwell inside of you. And also it creates another, I would say, that's why a DNA that comes outside and definitely comes inside, then it creates itself to be resident in that body. And now as your body is fighting something that is strange and something that your body does not even know, or your system does not even cannot read, then that's a problem whereby then some of your organs they collapse from within out. And that is a problem where we are. And I needed her to really take us through, and because the collapse of those columns, of those organs in within a body, they definitely now communicate death and sudden death and so forth. But the problem is nobody will blame whether they would absolutely come to a point where they say it is vaccination that have caused such, because now it is now being heart failure, kidney failure, all of those things, and now blaming the organs within that which were operating accordingly. But now, because now something was planted which was actually coming from outside, it was planted inside of you. It's quite an interesting evening because then for the first time I'm seeing things here that I've seen whenever we handle such topics. There's a temperament on all the gadgets. I'm loving it. I'm a man who understands, meaning in terms of cyber and intelligentsia. But now, this that we see now, it's so interesting because it really indicates that the matter that we are actually handling as being of national and also want to open up to Dr. Madita to talk to us, from her heart, the message she has today for the people and the solution in regard to what is it that the people should have in order to make sure that they are being safeguarded and that they are being brought to a place of joy. Please, Madam, you are welcome. Try to do it for us, and we are just proceeding and making sure that at the end of the day, people get what needs to be received tonight. Thank you so much.
Okay, people. It is very important that you know that at the end, you have, like you said, you have 200 different combinations of enzymes in your body. So it means you have 200 different type of cells in your body. Now, as you already mentioned, there is 37 trillion cells. So 37 trillion is 37 and 12 zeros. And in every cell, there is 1,300 enzymes. And the job of those 1,300 enzymes is to make sure that 100,000 neurotransmitters per cell is released. Now, those neurotransmitters, they are responsible for messengers and messages and processes and communication in the system. So at the end, we make sure with our product, we make very sure that the system is communicating. So first of all, we have to start communication from your bottom part. That is where the kidneys is. That is where the belt of truth is. The belt of truth is everything starts there. That is where the aldosterone hormone is. That is where the biggest reception is from the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland, which is actually inspiring the cortex, from the cortex to the aldosterone. And then we have found one enzyme. And that enzyme is called peptamen euphoria. And there you are equipped. There you are equipped to have joy. And we have added with our break, and this is where everything is catalyzed. So our system needs, it doesn't matter what type of vitamins we're taking. It doesn't matter what food we're eating. But we have to answer one question for us. Are we sure we are stimulating and regulating the 4 basic enzyme groups in the system, which is called hydrogenases, catalases, phosphatases, and peptidases. Now, people, if we start in the aldosterone hormone, which is just on top of the kidneys. Then from there we are actually have to add to the joy process, because if there's not joy for the day, we are not going to wake up for the day. And as in the circadian rhythm, we cannot see that there will be rising of blood. There will the bowel movement will not start. There will be not any high alertness in the system. So that's very good. Now the communication is from the aldosterone to the pancreas. In the pancreas, there's very, very important enzymes. The enzymes in the pancreas is now doing what we all know. They are chemical messengers: insulin, glucagon, somatostatin, and elastin. We know these words. We know the words somatostatin. We know we drink simvastatin. Everybody is drinking one atorvastatin. We're drinking all those statins when it comes to cholesterol. And this is where the cholesterol actually must make sure that we are actually producing everything we need and the support that is there for the system. So that's why we need in the pancreas, there is this very important elastin that is making sure all these muscles and products is going to be formed. We have glucagon that is now making sure we're burning, and also we will make sure there is insulin. So we know insulin. Insulin takes the sugar from the blood and push it into the cell so that there is enough energy in the system. Okay, so let us see now. So this is the communication. So we call that the peptidases process. Peptidases. So and then from there also the stimulation of oxidation and any sort of secretion is formed. And there we also supply the red bone marrow building blocks. We all know what red bone marrow is doing. They are the one building the bloods, giving us the life. Okay. Now, what is very important, the thyroid is next in line. So the communication from the pancreas is now to the thyroid. The thyroid is doing all your temperature regulations. So by doing that, you are directing your footsteps and you do arm embracements. The enzyme, the very important enzyme you work there is called phosphoric acid monoester. And with that, we are actually making sure we are doing the third very crucial enzymatic process called phosphatases. Phosphatases ensure water opens your phosphoric acid monoester and release phosphates and alcohol. Phosphates is necessary for the release of endomorphins and the alcohol for cell revival and hydrogen actions. And that now moves us top. From the thyroid, we are embracing right. Our footsteps is like a child, up and running. And now we're going for the pituitary gland. And there we have a reward system, and eating and exercising is stimulating us. So if we eat, the body is experiencing reward. If we exercise, the body is experiencing reward. And this is actually also something, people, that I just like to mention, and don't make anything of this. But this is why when they actually tested us, they put that cotton. Luckily, I skipped that one. But because I didn't have to go anywhere, I was drinking an incredible product to make sure I'm always spinning high above everything. But they put the cotton bud in your nose, and by that they were closing the channels to the reward system on the pituitary gland. So there was very little reward because it was very difficult for the endomorphines to find the reward system in the pituitary gland. and so it was very difficult to bind properly. So that is where also where the harvest is coming in from 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold. And our body actually have to want to have 100% rewards. And luckily, everybody is now, like even if you eat with Panarotti's pizza, you get a reward, And the petrol is giving you reward, and the insurance is giving you reward, and the banks is giving you reward, because everybody knows that to be rewarded will stimulate you to do whatever you like to do. Okay, now one thing that is very important is that now let's see one thing. What is now going to happen when the reward system is actually receiving this endomorphins, all the receptors in the reward system, 100-fold, let's work on 100-fold. Then the body releases a lot of dopamine, and that is your good feel hormone. And that's what everybody wants. That's why you get smokers. That's why you get people who use drugs. And that's why people, they do everything that excites their eyes, because they like to have abundant dopamine. Yeah, because everybody knows that they want to reach high levels. And everybody knows if your body releases a lot of dopamine, there is serotonin secretions. And only when there is a certain level, the body reaches certain level of serotonin secretion, the body will abundantly switch on the yellow bone marrow. That was the women in the Bible, they had those lambs. But those ones, they were not having only the lambs. They also had the oil. Because they know the oil will make the lambs burn for a long time. First of all, they can wait, they can endure, they can take part. So that is the way to go, people. Now, I ask you people, we have a lot of products. We have, where is the slides? I like to show you, many people of you like to have the, there you are, you know them. That's a revitalizer moving in there. The revitalizer is there, the revitalizer. Okay. And then there is the products for the skin. All of these products is combined, and then we also have, look here, there they are. We also have a new product here, which is capsules. They have the right amount of pyridoxine to make sure your body will release a lot of alcohol, to make sure there is a flow, and that the water will run into the system, and the fat is getting out of the system. So sometimes people, we also just, if you are in a hurry, we know all our people is sometimes in a hurry. So one of these capsules can use for breakfast. And that is your breakfast. And I assure you, we are all losing weight because breakfast is now in a pill form. And it keeps you running. Water outside. Water inside. Fat outside. Suddenly our stomachs disappear. Everything is fast. Okay. Now, we have to that bad.
What you know what? I am so ecstatic, independent of the glitches of the network. I'm excited to hear what the doctor is really presenting before us, and we all could actually agree that you want to have a stable kind of a network where you would absolutely begin to breathe such things. But I trust that we'll have that on video and make sure that we deliver accordingly to the people so that each and every one of you can learn accordingly there. Because you know what, I'm learning as I'm also receiving information, and I'm telling you that's what we all need to have. And I just want all of us right now, she's actually now, I think it's a struggle from her side, and now I just need you to connect with Dr. Amadita, and I've just put it on the screen because I personally relate with her because of the work that she does, and she has a heart for the people. And I need you to check on her there on Africa Health Assurance. We say aha. So we want the whole nation to say aha. What doctors do not tell us, she's gonna actually begin to now open up for us. And now on the issue of your yellow bone marrow, I need you to get deep and muchly connect with her. And in terms of the mortality of the COVID trauma that we are actually experiencing, I need you now to see that you will see there's an email, and moreover there's also a website where you can connect with her and make some orders and say just get those medicinal, because I can tell you that's exactly what is needed, because we are in that time. So I thought we would allow her to speak, and so that we can maybe at times give it 10 minutes or so and drop it down, because I feel so blessed that you all took your time to come on board and to actually honor our only female doctor, who is a pharmacognetic, who's, I would say now, to me now, who has a heart, and a woman who trusts God, and moreover the concoctions, like moreover, if you look at the apothecary, it's the apothecaries that we had then we don't have now. So but we do have in our midst, and that is able to take the oils and put them together and have a different scent that heals the skin, that heals the bones, that deals with with the patching and moreover the joints. And so I'm excited, and I just want you to know that I'll make sure that we bring here again at any platform to make sure that we deliberate on this matter. And we also, because I wanted her to talk about even what has transpired, because this is the time for us to talk, so that history can really judge whatsoever that was put before mankind, and whatsoever that was put before our families. And I'm telling you, if you are a leader and you are a coward, and you can't come on board and talk about this matter, we don't actually talk about leadership of popularism, and people who can't really talk about the matters that really, absolutely now, I would say, matters that really deals with the people, through, an injustice kind of a process. And I can tell you now, we have leaders. People are talking about great leaders, presidents, and some future leaders. But now we are looking for leaders that can be able to stand for the people, but moreover for the truth. Now here, Dr. Amadita, now I would want to give her this 9 minutes or 8 minutes, so that she can wrap up and muchly wrap it up and conclude it for us, nicely. So Dr. Amadita, it is well, madam. This is these systems are Babylonian. Yeah, so we don't have to worry about systems. That's why in South Africa we are facing blackouts, and we have made peace about it. So the systems are just Babylonian systems. So even if we cut, it doesn't cut us from you. We want to hear from you. We want to be part of what you do. We want people to know and to receive and to actually receive their health as we have done it. Now,
Okay.
now, Dr. Madina,
People, we are back.
thank you so much. Now, I'm going to just provide that 6 minutes for you, Madam. You're welcome to open your heart, talk to us once more. We saw your products. You were presenting each and every product on the screen. And I'm saying to the people that they're going to connect as in tonight. Some of them, they will order, they will ask what this can help with, what is it that I need, or this, revitalizer, which I personally recommend for everybody who has vaccinated. I personally recommend the revitalizer so that it can flush whatsoever. And I'm so excited because you brought them also in the studio. So you are welcome, Madam, for the next 5 minutes or 6 minutes. Please, you are open. You are welcome to open your heart once more before we close. Okay. Okay. Are you in a position to can talk? Maybe can hear us? If you are not, we understand. Are you in any position to can share with us or talk to us? Ladies and gentlemen, we are a team. We are a tech team. If it actually now she's entangled that side, I am actually opened up now to really take you by, and moreover, take you through and through confidence. I need us to close it in a way that it would muchly make a great sense. She's still struggling there with the network, but we are going to now, finalize this few minutes so that we honor you as you've come on board. And thank you so very much to all of you that has made it thus far. And I want to just, promise you the truth is yet to come. And there are so many that are coming on board, even doctors. And I need you to know that we are aware of what is actually happening out there. And I need you now to go through and check on this video before we close. And so we can all understand that there are so many cases out there that which I'm dealing with also in my office. And people are really, really, really in a predicament, and some not even knowing what to do or who to call or where to go, because some they even go to the hospitals, they don't even get their help. If somebody says, I went to the hospital and the doctor was not there, you need to know that we actually are facing a calamity that which needs men and women that are of sincerity, that absolutely their hearts are connected in actually now making sure that they support and also assist meaning our local men and local women. Remember, good science is godly science, and that's what we are looking for. Good science is godly science, and we don't care whether however they put it. Good science is godly science because it's more concerned on healing its people and making sure that they heal their communities. Now let's follow up on this.
A 26-year-old mother faces amputation of both her hands and feet after she developed complications immediately after receiving a dose of the Sinovac COVID vaccine. Cleopatra Ngube of Cowdrey Park, Western Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, said she took the vaccine on 27 July from health officials deployed to their small neighborhood church.
Immediately after I got vaccinated, I fell sick the very same day. I was dizzy and weak, and I initially thought I had caught a cold since I had woken up in the morning to go queue for the vaccine. It was on a Tuesday.
She says her condition deteriorated and she was taken to the hospital on Friday, 3 days later, where she was admitted for 2 weeks. While admitted in hospital, her symptoms took a turn for the worse as her hands and feet began to swell painfully. Doctors said she needed a blood transfusion.
My feet and hands started swelling. I was in so much pain and couldn't sleep. They told me my feet were cold and there was no blood circulation in my feet. Also, I no longer had blood in my body, so I had to go to Mpilo for a blood transfusion.
The transfusion was unsuccessful and doctors ordered a battery of tests, but by the time she got the results, her hands and feet had already started turning black and the government doctor she was due to see was not available. Increasingly desperate, she turned to a private doctor who delivered the bad news. They were too late and amputation was unavoidable.
The doctors at Mpilo said I should go for tests, and I went for those tests. When I went back to the doctor, my hands and feet had already turned black. We went back with the results to Mpilo, and the doctor wasn't available. We went to a private doctor, and the doctor said it's too late for any kind of help. If only we had come before the feet turned black.
Her parents, unable to accept her fate as an amputee, have refused to allow the procedure and are now hoping against hope for a miracle despite the dim prognosis from doctors. Now bedridden in a small room, Cleopatra is appealing for help with treatment and financial support as she now appears destined for a life of disability.
The doctor said we should go to UPH. I was admitted at UPH. At UPH, they told me I could not be cured. They told me I would have to be amputated, both my hands and feet. My parents did not agree. I need help because I can no longer walk. Even if I want to go to the toilet, my sister has to assist me. Please, can you assist with whatever you can? I have one child in grade 0 who is doing ECDB.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a state of where our sisters are. That's a state of where our loved ones, the people we love, are going through a lot. Nobody's answering. Nobody is taking heed of their calamity. And now, you see, governments are quiet. You see, the health sector is not talking. And this young lady will be I mean, you can see now, obviously, those legs, they don't even need anything. They are just off because there is no upward or even sideward or any kind of assistance that could come about just after she took vaccine. And, you know, we need to be particular about this. If our people are an experiment and we are here and we are watching leaders are really meaning looking at whatsoever their lifestyle. But now we know that there's an enemy that has entered humanity that needs to be dealt with. And I can tell you, it will not rest until meaning all these perpetrators are come to pass. Meaning come to to a state where they are being questioned about this matter. It will happen even much quicker, not in 100 years. It will happen much quicker. Many of our people are really struggling. I tell you, I meet old people who sleep while they are standing, while they are seated. They just sleep. They just are full of slumber. They don't know what's happening. Their bodies are so, are so heavy. One lady said, "I'm feeling like in my intestines, there's a shift, or there's a change of some sort. Things are happening in the bodies of our loved ones, in the bodies of our uncles and aunties and mas, and the bodies of our papas and the bodies of our children." And now my question would be, will we quiet to this atrocity that we have seen being permitted by our leaders, our presidents, and moreover our health sector? And I feel like justice must come to course. And now this liability, which is criminal, must also be attended by. It doesn't matter who has the money. It doesn't matter who has the power. Power is in the people's hands. Power is in the community. I'm appealing to each and everyone right now. Let's stand up and start talking. Let's stand up and start questioning. Let's stand up and start finding out what's happening, because many people, as you heard the doctor said, many people are definitely going to pass because of complications. Now, I've tried to bring Dr. Amadita, but I feel like we are just going to close it, because meaning to where we are now, I trust that we have tried to do our level best to share the message. And if possible, as now also they're trying to bring her back, if we are able to can connect her back, just to to say goodbyes. But now just give her a minute to say goodbyes, and we thank him. We thank you again, Dr. Nada Amadita. Thank you so much for coming back. And we know it was not pleasant because of the glitches that we are facing, but it is well. We are thankful for your presence, and we know that a seed that you have planted here will not actually now go unnoticed. And just a minute, 1 minute, you can wrap up and just talk to the people for a minute. I was about to close, but I saw you coming back, and I know that you are fighting to make sure that the people of South Africa and the world receive such an intrinsic kind of information. If I have to give you a minute just to wrap it up and pour your heart for the last, and as we are saying our goodbyes to our viewers, thank you so much. You are on set now. Yeah, no. Every time I'm attempting to bring Dr. Madita back, something happens. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will make sure that we have a recording that is moreover, I would say, I would say untempered, and we will and uncensored. We will do that in a while. I'll definitely make sure that I get in touch with the good doctor, and we get the information accordingly, and so that at the end of the day, we are able to deliver the truth of the matter to the people. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you once more, and I want to thank you, as from Kairos TV family. The final word, we speak the truth, and we believe that the truth shall surely set you free. And now, if you have been with us, I want to tell you this: may God bless you, bless your family, bless even your neighbors, and bless your generation, as we shall meet once more. And God bless you.